Sports and Fitness Rants. You guys know I'm back, man, with another live one. Much respect to all you guys out there, man. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. It's a spontaneous live, man. Like I said, this was not a planned live stream. I wasn't gonna do a live, but I was watching some of this Olympic basketball game. I watched most of the first half, basically the entire first half of the USA game versus who they play. Who did they play, man? Who were they playing? Brazil? I want to say they were playing Brazil today. And I was watching the first half of that game, and my goodness, man, I can't listen to Dwayne Wade and this other guy, Eagle. His last name is Eagle. I don't know if he's Iron Eagle's cousin or brother or nephew or son, whoever he is. But Dwayne Wade, man, this dude said some outlandish stuff in the first half during the broadcast. I'm talking about some outlandish stuff, man. And I wanted to talk about this today in this live stream, man, because like I said, I couldn't believe what some of this guy was saying, man. It didn't make any sense to me. So I'm gonna wait a couple minutes before I get my rant, right on. See if anybody's around, anybody's available to come into the live stream right now. So much respect to anybody that comes through the live, man. But yeah, I was watching that first half of that USA team playing against Brazil, man. And my goodness, like I said, I couldn't even listen to it anymore. I'm surprised I was able to make it through the first half, without turning it off. Because the things that these guys were saying, and it was so weird, some of the stuff he was saying, it made no sense. Once again, not educating the people out there, that I had to write some of this stuff down. I actually had to write some stuff down. That's right, Sports and Fitness Rants had to write some stuff down to make sure that I addressed some of these things that were said during that first half of that Olympic game. This stuff was crazy, man. I don't know what the hell this guy Dwayne Wade was talking about. Once again, these guys just saying all kinds of nonsense, man. And we're going to talk about it, man, because like I said, they continue to embarrass the USA. And the way that these guys are carrying themselves, man, it's like I said, man, it's a damn shame, man, for real. It's a damn shame. So we're going to come out here. We're going to set the record straight on Dwayne Wade and some of the nonsense that him and this other fool was saying out there during the game. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Root for the USA, man, and broadcast the game the right way. Do it the right way. Stop saying bro every other word. Stop making up stuff out there. Stop literally lying to the people that are listening to the broadcast. A lot of these guys, a lot of people that are watching the Olympics, they're not necessarily fans of that sport, of basketball. They're watching the Olympics because it's the Olympics. So when you're broadcasting the games, you have to speak to people who don't know, or speak to like you're talking to people that don't know much about the game, especially on the American side. So when Dwayne Wade's out there talking nonsense, not giving you the facts, not educating the people, when he's saying all this stuff, man, it's not helping the USA. And once again, it's not helping people to become educated on basketball, on USA basketball, because you're talking nonsense. Every other word is bro. I mean, come on, man. It's an absolute joke. Yo, shout out to my man Sky Daddy coming through, Bonsai. Yeah, I think my man Ticket TV is actually doing a live stream right now. I think LeBron James went down. It's probably not a real injury. He's probably just, faking the injury or, milking the injury because the USA was dominating Brazil. The first half, like I said, it was complete domination the way that it should be. This is what we're talking about. They should be dominating these teams. So like I said, we got some people in the chat. Yo, shout out to all you guys, man. Somos Banditos, you muted it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I listened to it. I purposely kept the volume on because I wanted to write down some of this nonsense. I actually had to write some of this stuff down just to make sure that I covered some of the stuff that was said. This is only in the first half. I didn't even watch the second half. I didn't even want to do it. Yo, Ted, what up, man? So I can hear what you're saying when you say that you muted, man. Much respect to you for watching it with no volume. But if you listen to some of these guys, man, oh my God, some of the things that Dwayne Wade was saying, it don't add up, guys. Now, I'm going to start off the top here. And I want to talk about Joel Embiid real briefly. Because a lot of, if you guys haven't noticed, every time that Joel Embiid touches the basketball, the people are booing him. He's getting booed out there. And there's a reason for this, right? Because Joel Embiid's a goof. I told you he's out there showboating at the end of these games. He's embarrassing the United States, Joel Embiid, man. And once again, he's not a classy individual. He's not a respectable person, Joel Embiid. To me, Joel Embiid's an idiot. He's a big goof out there. He's like a big 18-year-old Joel Embiid, man. This guy still thinks he's like in high school or something. Everything's a joke to this dude, man. And once again, he hasn't earned that kind of cachet, man. I don't know who the hell Joel Embiid thinks he is, but this man should be playing for Africa. Get this man off the USA team. But they boo him every time he touched the ball in that first half. They booed him. They literally booed him. No one else. Only Joel Embiid, man. Here we go. SBA. SBE. I guarantee you have no vision in the channel, man. Get out of here, you straight clown, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. That's what he comes in with. Weirdo. So they were booing Joel Embiid all the time, right? Every time. And what did Dwayne Wade say? Dwayne Wade, right? I didn't say Africa was a country. I said you should have been playing for Africa, one of the African nations. What are you talking about, man? You sound stupid, Eli Dirksen. Go get a life, my man. Go get a life. You sound ridiculous, man. Yo, Jim Cinos, man, much respect to you, man. Thank you for your super chats, your super thanks, man. I'm truly humbled by support, man. Thanks a lot, man. Much respect. Yeah, this was an impromptu live stream. But like I said, I was watching the first half of that of that game and listening to what Dwayne Wade was saying. So Dwayne Wade actually said that they were booing Joel Embiid out of respect for Joel Embiid. That's what he went with. That was what he said, man. It don't make any sense, man, how Dwayne Wade could just straight up lie like that and say they're booing Joel Embiid out of respect. Who the hell respects Joel Embiid? No one respects him. Why would they be booing him out of respect? They're booing him because he's a goof. He's a clown. And once again, he's a showboat. He's a front runner. He's real tough out there, and he's real cool when he's playing on the USA team. Right? But he ain't got that same energy when he plays for the Philadelphia Sixers, though. Right? No energy in the regular season. Always ducking out from Jokic. This dude is soft, man. I don't respect Joel Embiid. No one respects Joel Embiid. So Dwayne Wade, they were not booing Joel Embiid out of respect for him. No one respects Joel Embiid because he hasn't done anything to earn the respect of those fans out there in Paris, man. Once again, you have to earn the respect of these people. And Joel Embiid's a clown, man. He's a soft, frail dude who runs his mouth a lot. He cries for accolades. He cries for trophies. And once again, he's an embarrassment on the United States, Joel Embiid. But they were booing him every time he touched the ball. And that's good for him, man. They booed him every time. But Dwayne Wade wants you to believe that they were booing him out of respect. This was not Michael Jordan in Madison Square Garden, and the fans were booing Michael Jordan, or Michael Jordan's playing against the Indiana Pacers, and they're booing him in Indiana, or they're booing him in Utah. Isn't it the same thing? They were booing him out of respect. They boo the great players out of respect. Who the hell is Joel Embiid in international play? What respect has he earned from the people over there to boo him out of respect? Dwayne Wade just talking nonsense, man. He don't make no sense. Just talking nonsense. He don't want to tell you the facts, why they're booing Joel Embiid. He don't want to tell you that, man. He wants to cover it up as if Joel Embiid is so great and so dynamic that they're booing him because he's so great. They got to boo him, man. It's an absolute joke, man. Once again, Joel Embiid at the end of the game against Puerto Rico, he's out there showboating, being a front runner. I mean, it's an absolute joke. It's an embarrassment. You guys are up by 20, like 10 seconds left in the game, and here goes Joel Embiid, showboating for the crowd, doing all this nonsense, man. Trying to embarrass the Puerto Rican team. It don't add up. Once again, Joel Embiid, you're a front runner, man. I don't respect Joel Embiid at all on anything he's done in his NBA career. And once again, what has he done internationally to earn any respect of the boos that Dwayne wants you to believe? They were booing him because it's out of respect. Nah, Dwayne Wade, you sound ridiculous, man. Just stop it right now, man. All right? You guys know he cried for that MVP. That's right. You know he did. He kept crying and moaning for an MVP trophy that he didn't even deserve. He never deserved that MVP last season or the year before. He didn't deserve that MVP, man. They gave it to him, man. It's an absolute joke. Once again, Joel Embiid exposed himself, and he's getting exposed during the Olympics, and that's why they're booing him, because no one respects him, man. Yo, shout out to you guys for coming through the live stream. This was an impromptu live stream. I wanted to go over some things I wrote down that Dwayne Wade and this other fool were saying during the broadcast of the first half against the game against Brazil that I believe ended already. I'm pretty sure the United States cleaned these guys up, man. They were blowing them up by 20 in the first half when I turned it off. But this guy, Dwayne Wade, he said some crazy stuff. So we got the Joel Embiid stuff out the way, how he was saying that Joel Embiid was being booed out of respect. And that was not the case, not even close. But he also said that Dwayne Wade said that Jason Tatum is one of the most decorated players in the NBA. Are you kidding me? Jason Tatum is one of the most decorated players in the NBA right now? No, he's not. And that's not a knock on Jason Tatum. He's an outstanding young player. But to call him one of the most decorated players in the NBA currently is an absolute joke, man. He's not. The man didn't even win the Finals MVP on his own team. He was not the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals this season. I believe he was the Finals MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, or the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals a couple years ago. But once again, that's a made-up award. They just made that award up. An Eastern Conference Finals MVP, a Western Conference Finals MVP. Any way they can get some more hardware into these guys that no one respects. Who gives a damn about a Western Conference Finals MVP? So once again, he calls Jason Tatum one of the most decorated players in the NBA. Is he more decorated than Giannis? Is he more decorated than Jokic? Is he more decorated than Luka Doncic, who's been in the NBA less than he has? He's not more decorated than these guys. He's not. Jason Tatum's made some all-star appearances. I think he has 3 All-NBA first teams. He's an outstanding player, a young, up-and-coming player. But to call him one of the most decorated players in the NBA when you still have guys like Kevin Durant there, Steph Curry, obviously LeBron James is still there, much more decorated. Like I said, Jokic, Giannis. I mean, they're more decorated players than Jason Tatum by far. He's not even in their category, in their class. This man's never finished runner-up to an MVP. Never. Never sniffed an MVP. And once again, he wasn't even the finals MVP this year. Right? He wasn't. He wasn't even the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. That went to Jaylen Brown in both rounds. So to call him one of the most decorated players in the NBA is an absolute joke. Once again, Dwayne Wade not making any sense out here, man. Yo, shout out to all you guys, man. I'm just ranting right now. I'm sorry. I haven't really looked at your comments, guys. Forgive me, man. I'm just going off right now. It don't make any sense, the stuff that he was saying. So he said that. But not only did he say that, he also said this. Dwayne Wade is out there. I wrote some of stuff down so I didn't forget to hit on these points. Dwayne Wade's out there calling the other team's travels out. So there was a player from Brazil. He may or may not have traveled. They didn't call a travel on him. He missed a layup. And Dwayne Wade immediately starts talking about, yo, that was a travel. Yo, bro, that was a travel, bro. This ain't, he said something like, this ain't a rental car commercial or an all-state, something he said, some corny line. And he said that the other player from Brazil traveled. He don't keep that same energy, though, for the LeBron James travels that we see out there that a lot of the USA players are doing because that's the way the game is played now. These guys are allowed to take these extra steps. They're allowed to carry the ball all over the place. And I get it, man. But if you're going to call out the other team's travels and make it seem like this guy took 4 or 5 steps, then, dude, you got to call the travels for the United States, man, that are much more egregious. I saw LeBron James stumbling and bumbling out there in the first half several times. Nothing mentioned by these guys like Dwayne Wade, man. So it don't make any sense. Yo, much respect to all you guys, man, for coming through the chat, man. I haven't read your guys' comments, man. I'm just going off right now. But thank you for everyone for coming through. I was watching the first half of that Olympic game. And shout out to the USA men's team, man, for going out there and doing and handling their business. But the broadcast, Dwayne Wade, this other guy, his last name is Eagle. I can't remember his first name. These guys they're ridiculous, man, the things that they say. So Dwayne Wade's partner, right after Dwayne Wade called Jason Tatum one of the most decorated players in the NBA. Right after he said that, this other fool, like I said, his last name is Eagle. If any of you guys know his first name, throw it in the chat there, man. I can't remember his first name. I don't know if he's Iron Eagle's son or his brother, his cousin, whatever it is. They look alike and they're the same last name. But this guy was talking nonsense. He said, it's not Iron Eagle, guys. It's another Eagle. It's not Iron Eagle. I think it's, I like Iron Eagle. I don't think it's him. I think it's someone else. But he said that Jason Tatum is a lockdown defender. It's Noah Eagle. Is that it, Noah Eagle? Much respect, guys. Thank you. But he said that Jason Tatum is a lockdown defensive player. He said he was a lockdown defender when he came into the league. And he was talking about the two-way play of someone like Jason Tatum. And now he's one of the elite defensive players, one of the elite two-way players in the NBA. Jason Tatum has never made an all-defensive team, guys. Not one all-defensive team. Not even a second team. Never made an all-defensive team. So to say that he's a great two-way player or a lockdown defensive player, listen, he might be a solid defender, but he ain't no great defensive player. He's not a lockdown defender. Once again, he's been in the league, 7 years? He's never made an all-defensive team. How many years does it need to take for you to make an all-defensive team in this weak, soft era of defense? It shouldn't be that hard for Jason Tatum to make a couple of all-defensive teams. It shouldn't be that hard, but he never made one. But this guy, Eagle, wants to talk about Jason Tatum as one of the elite two-way players in the game. There are no elite two-way players in the game anymore. Can you guys point to one player that's making all NBA teams, right? That's leading the league in scoring, that's making all defensive teams? They're not there. These guys are not there anymore. None of those guys left. And then he says Anthony Edwards is one of the great defenders in the NBA. That's what he said. He said that Anthony Edwards is one of the top defensive players in the league. Now, when you think about Anthony Edwards, you think about the athleticism, right? So if we think about the athleticism of Anthony Edwards, yes, Anthony Edwards gives effort on the defensive end. But once again, to call Anthony Edwards an elite defensive player, one of the top defensive players in the league, it don't make, once again, he's never made an all-defensive team in this weak, soft era of NBA. So I'm not saying these guys are garbage defensive players. Right, they're solid. They give the effort. But once again, they've never made one all-defensive team. How can you be considered elite two-way player and you've never made an all-defensive team? I don't get that. How do we reach to that point? They never made one all-defensive team, but they're going to tell you Dwayne Wade's going to tell you that these guys are lockdown defensive players? They're some of the great two-way players? Once again, you've lowered the bar for two-way play. You've lowered it. Wrote down something else. See, what else did they say here? It's out of control, man. Oh, the dream shake. I don't know if you guys saw, like, I think it was the first quarter. LeBron James had a 6'3" guy on him. One of the guards for Brazil guarding him in the post. This is the way LeBron James loves it. He loves to back down the little guys in the post. So he had this guy in the post. So here goes LeBron James banging into him, banging into this guy, right? Banging into him. No post game from LeBron James. He does a simple turnaround jumper. No doubt, man. Good shot from LeBron James. Turnaround jumper. It goes in. This dude, Noah Eagle, says that he pulled out and broke out the dream shake on him. That's what he said. He did the dream shake. It was nothing close to the Hakeem Olajuwon dream shake. Nothing close to it, guys. But here goes my man, Noah Eagle, broadcasting the game. He's going to say that was a dream shake. So, like I said, if you've never seen the NBA, you've never heard of Hakeem Olajuwon, you've never heard of the dream shake before, and now you hear it, you think that's the dream shake. You really believe what LeBron James just did, that simple turnaround jumper over a 6'2" guy, you believe that's a dream shake. So, once again, you're not educating the fans because you're not being accurate. You're not stating the facts. That was not a Hakeem Olajuwon dream shake. Not even close to it. Once again, it was an ugly turnaround jump shot that LeBron James hit over a guard, man. No doubt. Great for him. But to call that the dream shake, once again, you're embarrassing us. You're embarrassing yourself. And finally, let's talk about one last thing here, man. I'm not going to do this live stream for too long, maybe another 15, 20 minutes. Yo, shout out to all you guys in the chat, man. Some of you LeBron James fans that are saying weird things, I'm not even reading your stuff. I'm not even looking at it right now. I'm ranting right now. So I'm not concerned. So forgive me, guys, if I'm not answering your questions or I'm not reading off your guys or answering you guys, man. I just want to get some of the stuff out the way real quick. And the last thing I want to talk about is this idea, this notion that the world has caught up to us. They love to make this excuse, right, as to why the 92 Dream Team was beating teams by 30 and 40 points. Oh, the world caught up. The USA team in 92, they didn't have to play against these guys. Did you guys watch the first half of this Brazil game? Did you watch it? I watched the entire first half. Maybe you guys watched the whole game. I watched the first half, the entire first half. Brazil looked like they were an elementary school team. I don't know if you guys, I don't know how you guys, man, feel about that. Or if you were watching that game, it's an absolute joke, guys. Brazil out there, they're the competition that 92 Dream Team would have struggled with. This Brazil team was a joke. These guys are missing layups. They couldn't hit a damn shot to save their life. All these open jump shots they missed. No one there could dribble the ball. These guys look all discombobulated out there. But these are the guys that caught up to us. Brazil, the South Sudan, that was a 43-point underdog to the United States. That's how much the world caught up to us. They caught up so much that they were still 43-point underdogs. It don't add up, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the facts, man. The facts remain that the world has not caught up, right? They have not caught up. And a lot of these teams are not good. They're not good. The 92 Dream Team would have beat the bricks off of this Brazil team. Beat the bricks off of them. It wouldn't have even been close. And the 92 Dream Team would have did it with a lot more class, a lot more integrity. They would have did it with more flair, more style, all that stuff. You look at these guys out here, man. They out here goofing around. LeBron James turned the ball over all over the place. But Dwayne Wade won't talk about that. Dwayne Wade's just going to continue to give you these narratives and these nonsensical statements during the broadcast. It's an absolute joke, man. So a lot of you guys I know probably came and watch it. You guys know my man Angry Old Hoops has been broadcasting or been doing some of these videos and breaking this stuff down. Don't forget, we're going to be live tomorrow. 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Me and Angry Old Hoops, man, the dynamic duo will be back again for our Wednesday Hump Day rants. And we're going to talk about some of this stuff tomorrow. And we're going to talk about some other stuff tomorrow also. Yo, shout out to all you guys in the chat, man. My man Jim Cinos, thank you. Oh, really? What up? Human Nature 117. LeBron passed MJ already. I guarantee you have 0 videos on your channel. 0 videos. Another clown LeBron James fan. LeBron is the king. That's all you can say is LeBron James the king. King of what? King of flopping? King of forming super teams? King of walking off the court early? King of airballing free throws? King of hitting the side of the backboards? What is he the king of? He ain't the king of a damn thing. The king of making excuses? What? Make a video, Human Nature. I dare you to make a video. These dudes are a joke, man. You guys are a straight joke. All LeBron James supporters are a joke. They're soft, sensitive fools that stand on nothing. Remember that. He said he's the king of stats. No, he's not. That happens to be Will Chamberlain is the king of stats. What are you talking about here? What king of stats? Exactly, the king of not answering the steroid allegations. He got energy to tweet the fans all the time, but he got no energy for Shale Sonnen or some of his other stuff that he got floating out there. He got no energy for that stuff. He keep telling us to keep that same energy. Where's his same energy? Oh, maybe LeBron James is the king of tweeting and deleting tweets. Can you guys name me another superstar athlete across the board, any sport, that has tweeted more and deleted more tweets than LeBron James? Nobody's done it. And you know why this is? Because LeBron James is emotional. So what does that mean? He doesn't say what he means and he doesn't mean what he says. He's an emotional response kind of guy, just says things like all of his supporters. This is why they'll come to your chat right now and say nonsensical things. This is why they have no videos on their channels to talk about LeBron James or to explain and break it down. Right? It's the same thing, guys. The king of longevity, human nature. I'm going to continue to educate you here. The king of longevity. What longevity are you talking about? If you're talking about playing a certain amount of years, okay, maybe so. He's played a lot of years, but once again, where's the longevity? When was the last time that LeBron James made an all-defensive team? Do you know? Human nature, you probably weren't even born the last time LeBron James made an all-defensive team. When was the last time LeBron James won an MVP award? Once again, you probably were not even born the last time he won an MVP award. So when you use the word longevity, you sound stupid. You expose yourself as not once again doing the research or once again understanding the history of the game. LeBron James never made an MVP, never won an MVP in his 30s. Never won an MVP in his 30s. Meanwhile, Karl Malone won 2 MVPs in his 30s. Karl Malone won 2 MVPs in his 30s. LeBron James hasn't even made one. Not one. But they want to talk about longevity? LeBron James plays in the weakest defensive era in NBA's history. But yet and still, he hasn't made an all-defensive team since he was 29 years old. Human nature, you were not even born back then. So what have you been watching LeBron James do for you to use the word longevity? And then he goes back to the all-time leading scorer. What does that mean? No one cared about the all-time leading scorer before it was LeBron James. No one cared about this stuff. Only you fools care about that. Once again, you haven't explained anything as far as longevity goes. LeBron James is sitting out games, ain't playing a lick of defense. Michael Jordan could have played 30 years if he didn't play defense for half his career. Larry Bird could have played a lot longer. All these other guys, Bill Russell, all these other guys, they would have been able to play 20, 30 years if they didn't play any defense. If they were taking all these chemicals, sitting out all these games. It's an absolute joke, man, for someone to say this stuff. You don't make any sense. This is what I do here, man. I educate you LeBron James fools, right? Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. Remember that. All right, human nature, make a video. I dare to make a video. Yeah, we're going to get him mad. I keep telling people, if you're going to come in the chat and say nonsense, you have to at least be able to come back and forth with me. You have to at least be able to hold your own and make some solid facts, an argument. If you don't, then I'm getting you back to chat. Because all you're doing now is just taking up space. You're always just nonsensical things. Make a video about it. I don't understand the LeBron James supporters. Why don't you guys make videos to support LeBron James? Right? And debunk some of dispute the things that we're saying. You can't dispute the facts. That's a problem for you guys. So you come here with the crying and the moaning and the weird statements. But getting back to what Dwayne Wade and this guy Eagle and them talking during the broadcast and the weird things that they were saying. Guys, it's becoming unwatchable or unlistenable during these games because he's just making up stuff. For you to call Jason Tatum one of the most decorated players in the NBA, that's asinine. He's not one of the most decorated players in the NBA. He's just not. He's not. Is he one of the best players in the league? Yeah, he's probably a top 10, 20 player in the NBA, but calling the most decorated player in the league, he's not one of the most decorated players. He's just not. Once again, for them to call Jason Tatum a lockdown defender, how are you going to be called a lockdown defender given that label? But you've never made not even one all-defensive team. I don't get this. Back in the day when I was growing up watching basketball, the guys developed a defensive reputation. You earned it on the court. And you develop that reputation, and then what happens? People recognize you and your reputation, your hustle, your effort on the defensive end. So you make all defensive teams. I mean, even Larry Bird, who they keep trying to tell you is a slow, unathletic white guy, even he made 3 all-defensive second teams in his career. Dan Marley, who they always tell me is a slow, unathletic white guy that was guarding Michael Jordan, has made several all-defensive teams in his career. Jason Tatum's never made one. Not one. But you call him a lockdown defender. So then that means that Dan Marley is one of the elite defensive wing players in the history of the game. What are we saying here? It don't make any sense, man. It don't add up. You can't just say these things. And then the other guy calls Anthony Edwards one of the best defensive players in the league. I'm trying to figure this out. How do you get called one of the best defenders in the league? That means you have a reputation as being a great defensive player, a lockdown defender, but you've never made an all-defensive team? I don't get this. What are these guys not getting put on the all-defensive teams for bias or for hate? Rudy Gobert has won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards in this weak, soft era. Rudy Gobert won a sniff of Defensive Player of the Year award in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, going against guys like Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant for this award. It wouldn't have happened. Ben Wallace and Ron Artest, Tyson Chandler. He wouldn't have made it. And we all know in the 80s and 90s, he would not have won the Defensive Player of the Year awards, especially in the 90s, going against those elite big men. But somehow, some way, these guys that made an all-defensive team in this weak era, how are they considered elite lockdown defensive players? You know why? Because they've lowered the bar. They've lowered the bar to be considered a great two-way player. Now all you got to do is give some effort on defense, and you're considered a great defensive player, a great two-way player, a lockdown defender. You don't have to make an all-defensive team and be potent on offense to be considered a great two-way player, which is what you had to be back in the day. So once again, these guys expose themselves. And when they talk about these players, that the world caught up to America, the Brazilian team did not look that good to me. And I'm not knocking Brazil. Much respect for them being in the Olympics, for qualifying for the Olympics. But when they say the world caught up, are they trying to make you believe that Brazil team would be the 92 Dream Team? Hell no. Yes, I would say that Jrue Holiday is their best perimeter defensive player. Easily. And once again, he has the accolades that speak to that. He's made all defensive teams. Once again, so I don't understand. You can say, oh, Jason Tatum, one of the elite defensive players in the league. He ain't more elite than Jrue Holiday. It's the same thing when they keep telling you LeBron James is the best player on the Olympic team. Meanwhile, LeBron James is not even the best player on his Lakers team. He ain't the best player on the Olympic team. You can argue it's Steph Curry. You can argue it's Kevin Durant. You can argue it's Anthony Davis. Once again, the things that Anthony Davis does on the defensive end never get mentioned during the broadcast. They never get mentioned when he's playing in the NBA season for the Lakers. They keep wanting you to believe that LeBron James has to do everything out there. It's an absolute joke, guys. Yo, you guys know the deal, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You know, we got the weirdos. Some weirdos come in here, man. And yeah, you guys are getting it, man. You guys are getting it. It don't make any sense when you listen to these guys talk. I told you, he was saying, I don't know if you guys realize, Joel Embiid. Yo, Nemo, much respect to you, man. Shout out from LA, man. Shout out to all the people out there in LA, man. For real, man. Yeah, you're right, Jim Sinos. Yeah, Anthony Davis should have won that 2020 Finals MVP during that bubble championship. Anthony Davis was clearly the best player on both sides, guys. Both sides of the ball, man. And they didn't give him that award, and we know why they wouldn't give him that award. But here go the LeBron James fans telling you that Scottie Pippen, like, was carrying Michael Jordan. Don't add up. But Joel Embiid was getting booed every time he touched the ball, right? All the fans out there in Paris were booing Joel Embiid because he's been acting like a showboater. He's been acting like a front runner. He's been acting like a straight goof out there. And Dwayne Wade said they were booing him out of respect. It don't make any sense, man. They were not booing him out of respect. They're booing him out of disgust. Out of straight disgust, because they don't respect Joel Embiid. No one respects Joel Embiid. Yo, Full Metal, my man, shout out to Toronto, everybody out there in Canada. You guys are one of my biggest supporters out there in Canada, so shout out to everybody out there, man, for real. Boston, Massachusetts, my man, Big Bro McGee, shout out to you, man. Yo, Bryce Nichols, thank you very much. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you, man. All you guys out there, I'm sorry I haven't been reading your guys' comments. I've been just going off ranting, man. The broadcast was insane. I don't know if you guys were watching any of the Olympic game today. I watched the entire first half. Man, I essentially had to turn it off. The USA was doing their thing. They were blowing out Brazil handedly. Once again, Brazil looks like an elementary school team out there, but these are the guys that keep telling you we're catching up to the 92 team. Oh, the 92 team would have struggled out here. That Brazil team looked like a joke, man, and that's no disrespect to them, but they did not look prepared. They did not look like they would be competition for the 92 Dream Team. But they were booing this man out there, booing Joel Embiid every time he touched the ball. Yo, shout out to Florida. All you guys out there in Florida, my man Elson Harris, thank you, man. Yo, Nemo, you know what I'm here to do. Hayden Phoenix, what's up, man? It's crazy. I don't know if you guys listen to this stuff. It's insane, the things that they were saying. I tell you, I had to write some of this stuff down. I never write stuff down. I almost cursed there. Never write stuff down. I had to write some stuff down, man. Yo, Afro Abe, what up, man? Because they were just saying crazy things. Crazy things, man. I told you this guy said that LeBron James hit the dude with the dream shake? It was a turnaround jumper he hit. A turnaround jumper. And this guy trying to tell the people out there it was hit him with the dream shake. LeBron James ain't got the footwork to do the dream shake. I've never seen him do that. Not like Hakeem Olajuwon, man. So stop making up stories. It don't make any sense. Yo, Ed Huff, what up, man? Yo, Vex, you know it's Michael Jordan all day. You know that, man. Of course, guys. GB, what up, man? Oh, Latravius McKay. All right, much respect, man. Yeah, so I guess he turned his back on the French team, huh? Yo, Titan Long, much respect to you, man. I try to always hit you guys with the energy. You guys know my channel. It's sports and fitness rants. Don't forget that, man. I got fitness videos too, and I try to always give you guys the same energy, man. And this is just my natural energy. Like I said, man, living the active lifestyle, making those smart nutritional choices, man. So shout out to all you guys, man, that appreciate my channel, man. Yo, Monroe, I ain't lying, man. The dude literally said that LeBron James hit this dude with the dream shake. It was a turnaround jumper. I was watching it, man. There ain't no damn dream shake. So like I said, you're not educating the viewers. If there are people out there listening to this, right, from other countries, or people who are watching the Olympics that don't know much about basketball, they don't know what Hakeem Olajuwon is. They may not even know what a turnaround fadeaway jumper is. And then you say after LeBron James does that, he hit him with the dream shake, they're going to be, what the hell's a dream shake? And then if they were to Google the dream shake, they're going to be like, wait a second, that's not the dream shake. But this is what the broadcasters are telling you, man. It's insane. And Dwayne Wade, dude, where's your integrity, man? Like, I don't get it. I get, like, people want money, they get paid to do things. Hold on to your integrity, man. That's all you got. That's all you got. You guys remember Scarface, that movie Scarface? What did he say? You got two things, man. Your balls and your word. That's all you got, man. And that's all you got is your integrity. The integrity you stand on. The honor, the class, the respect. That's all you got, man. The money's going to come and go, man. The money ain't going to be there forever. But once again, your legacy, what people you remember you for, remember you by, we're going to remember Dwayne Wade like this. This is nonsense, man. You're not educating us. It's an embarrassment. King of Kings. Who's a yapper? I would love to know who's a yapper. Dwayne Wade? Yeah, you're right. Dwayne Wade is a yapper. He ain't making no damn sense out there. He's getting paid to talk nonsense. Paid to talk nonsense. I got the facts here. That's right. That's right, big bro McGee. That's right. That's right. Ask Shaquille O'Neal about the dream shake. Ask Patrick Ewing about it. Or David Robinson. Or any of the other great centers that Hakeem Olajuwon was hitting these fools with. And you're talking about some of the greatest centers in the history of the game. David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Shaquille O'Neal, Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, Mark Eaton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Moses Malone. Hakeem Olajuwon went against all these guys. Robert Parrish. All of these guys. Yo, Vaughn NY, that's actually pretty funny, man. LeBron James can't even shake hands alone, do the dream shake. That's actually a classic line right there. Much respect to you, man. But you're around the money. Yo, my man Lamont, what up, man? Yo, shout out to you, man. Thank you for all the support, man. I really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to do a brief live stream, an impromptu live stream, and talk about this nonsense that Dwayne Wade was saying. You're calling Jason Tatum an elite defensive player, one of the great two-way players? The man that made all defensive team. You have to earn that reputation. You have to earn that status. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. I like these guys, man. They're great up-and-coming talent, man, in the league. But to label these guys as great defensive players when they've never made even one defensive team, it makes you sound idiotic and not in touch with the reality. Nope, I'm not angry. These are the facts, man. I'm not angry here. I'm having a great day. This is my channel. If you're actually saying that, you probably don't know my channel, man. It's called Sports and Fitness Rants. This is what I do. I rant on the microphone. I don't write things down. I don't pre-record my videos. I don't edit my videos. Everything is off the dome, man. I'm giving you guys the facts based off of what? Someone who watched this stuff in the 80s and the 90s. I literally watched this stuff, guys. So much respect to all you guys out there, man. Yo, for real, guys. It's crazy that they're doing this because all this is doing is tearing down the 92 Dream Team. That's all they're doing, man. They're trying to tear down the 92 Dream Team, the great players that play on that team. What? To make these guys look greater. I don't know why they just can't let these guys stand on their own greatness. let them stand on their own. They won't do that. They're always compared to 92. And why is that? They actually expose themselves because all they're doing is showing and highlighting that 92 Dream Team is the standard. They're the standard. They're always going to be the standard. Yo, D-Lee22, thank you very much. Shout out to you. Latravius McKay. No, the other announcer is saying the same stupid stuff. He was the one that called Anthony Edwards one of the great lockdown defenders in the league right now. The dude ain't made an all-defensive team once. But he's one of the lockdown defenders. And Anthony Edwards plays defense. I'm not saying he doesn't play defense. He gives effort. But the man's never made an all-defensive team. Not one in this weak era. Come on, man. And we talk about the world getting better. Yo, Chirac Maybach, what up, man? When you talk about the world getting better, it doesn't add up, guys. The world catching up. I've told you guys what. Yo, Brandon 404, what up, man? Yo, shout out to everybody out in Georgia, man. Thank you guys for tuning into the live stream. This was an impromptu live stream. There was no heads up on this. So shout out to all you guys that have come through the live already, man. And give me, like I said, you guys showing me a lot of love, man. It means a lot. Thank you. But we're talking about them saying that the world caught up to the United States. They keep using that as a crutch to prop these guys up. Oh, the 92 team was only doing this because they weren't playing against any. Once again, Michael Jordan never played against anybody. He didn't play against nobody. And Scottie Pippen is the greatest player in the history of the game. It don't make any sense. Scottie Pippen is so great, but no one in the 90s was great except for Scottie Pippen. It don't make sense. And this is why they're tearing down the competition. I guarantee you guys right now that the 92 Croatian team would have blown out most of these teams. They would have, guys. With Drazen Petrovic and Tony Kukoc, they would have put it on a lot of these teams, man. They really would have. And the USA Dream Team blew them out. Blew them out. It wasn't because there was no competition. It was because the USA Dream Team was not taking any prisoners, man. They weren't lollygagging out there. They respected the competition so much that they brought it to them with everything they had. They didn't dishonor them by lollygagging out there and going through the motions and being, oh, we're the USA team. We could beat these guys anyway. No, they respected the competition by going out there and beating them down. Beating them down and then taking pictures with them. Sometimes even taking pictures before. That's respect. That's how you respect your opponent, by bringing it to them. You don't lollygag. That's the USA team today is doing. They've been lollygagging out there. That's why you're getting these close games. That's right, Dino Raja, Taj Rahim, what up, man? Yo, Somos Bandidos. I heard about that, and I called out Gilbert Arenas. Where's Gilbert Arenas at? I've been exposing Gilbert Arenas, and I know he was talking about me on Vlad TV, but he wouldn't mention my name. He didn't want to mention my YouTube channel. He didn't want to say Sports and Fitness Rants. He didn't want to do it because he knows that people come back and start looking into who I am and what was actually going down on that live stream and how he got exposed. It would not look good for him. He ain't trying to give me no support, and I get all that. That's great. I'm not here for the money, the fame. But Gilbert Arenas knows he got exposed, man. And for him to be talking about me on Vlad TV interview, I mean, literally, like the first 5 minutes of the interview, he was talking about me and that whole scenario that went down during the Sunday live stream about a month or so ago when he came on there and got exposed by me and Scap Attack. But he was talking about me on Vlad TV, but he didn't want to mention me. And I've called this fool out. I said to do the pull up, let's do the debate. But he don't want to do it. I told him to have me on Gil's Arena, and I'll debate. He don't even got to pay me to come on there. I'll come on there for free. But he don't have no energy for that. But he got energy to go on the live streams and come in there and talk nonsense like he did on Sunday. And he embarrassed himself, exposed himself yet again. Exactly. Gilbert is a fool. He's a fool, man. I don't respect him because he don't respect the NBA and he don't respect us, the fans. He don't respect us. Gilbert Arenas is one of these guys that because he played in the NBA, he thinks that he's better than me and you. He thinks that he knows the game better than me and you, or he knows the history of the game better than me and you. And that's not the case, ladies and gentlemen. I've never once said I could beat Gilbert Arenas one-on-one, or I could beat LeBron James, or I could beat this guy or that guy in a basketball game. That's not what it's about. It's about setting the record straight on these fools, man, and not allowing them to rewrite history and bend reality. And Gilbert Arenas is one of the biggest history rewriters out there. He's always saying nonsense for clicks and views. He has no integrity, no honor. He's out there for the money and the fame, Gilbert Arenas. And he said that himself. He's a joke, man. And he's not on my level. Gilbert Arenas can't touch me, man. He don't want it with me. None of these fools want it with Sports and Fitness Rants, man. They don't want it with me, man. These guys get nervous when I'm out here yelling. They keep telling me to take a breath or calm down. Why are you so angry? What drugs are you on? They call me a cokehead and stuff because I got the energy that they don't got. But they got no energy to accuse LeBron James of any of the drugs that he's doing. They'll say that I'm using drugs. These are the LeBron James fans, like that punk FYF, another soft feminine fool who accused me of using steroids, but he'll defend LeBron James to the end of time on his steroid use. These LeBron James supporters are a joke, man. Remember, I've told you, if you support LeBron James, if you support him, then what are you standing on? How can you look yourself in the mirror? LeBron James is not a respectable individual. He's not, guys. No matter how good he may be at basketball, he's a Hall of Famer. It don't make you a good person, man. It don't. And LeBron James has cheated the game. He hasn't respected the game. He don't respect the fans. He don't love the game. He loves the money and the fame that he gets from the game. He don't play with that love of the game. And he don't respect me and you, just like Gilbert Arenas don't respect me and you. He don't respect our opinions on basketball. None of this stuff. I grew up watching basketball in the 80s and the 90s, guys. Like I said, I was fortunate. My dad was into basketball. I played basketball from a young age. My dad was always playing basketball. It was always around. It was on the radio. And like I said, I had one TV growing up. So if the game was on, we were watching the game. And Michael Jordan was always on in the 90s. Always on. I watched this stuff religiously. There were no computers. There were no iPhones. There were no tablets, no laptops. There was no internet when I was a kid. None of this stuff. You had to watch the game. That was the only way you were going to be able to talk about the game was watching it. There was no basketball reference. I had to watch the game. And I learned the game watching these guys and playing the game, man. No, I never played at a high level. I played in high school, and that was it. But that does not mean that I don't know the history of the game. Gilbert Arenas does not know the history of the game because he doesn't care about the history of the game. And if he does know, he's disingenuous. He lies to the people. That's all he does is lie for views and for money. So if you guys don't know, if you guys watched the first half of that Olympic game, the things that Dwayne Wade and this fool Noah Eagle were saying, it don't add up. They don't make any sense. He called Jason Tatum one of the most decorated players in the NBA already. I don't see how that's possible. He's not one of the most decorated players in the NBA. They called Jason Tatum one of the great two-way players in the NBA, even though he's never made an all-defensive team. Never made one, not even one all-defensive team in his career. Once again, Dan Marley made more all-defensive teams than Jason Tatum. But they don't want to talk to you about that stuff. They don't. Once again, I'm not impressed. And then they try to say that Anthony Edwards is one of the great lockdown defenders in the NBA. They said that on the broadcast. Once again, those are not the facts. Anthony Edwards is an outstanding player, man. He's a solid two-way player. But he's not a lockdown defense. Once again, he's never made an all-defensive team in this weak era. Aren't there all-defensive teams for people who are the top defenders in the league? Don't they get put on the all-defensive team? So why hasn't Jason Tatum or Anthony Edwards made an all-defensive team? But meanwhile, Jrue Holiday has made what? 5 or 6 all-defensive teams in his career. So I would venture to say that Jrue Holiday is probably the best defensive perimeter guy on that team. These guys don't make any sense, man. Yeah, what's LeBron James averaging? 6 turnovers a game in the Olympics? 6 turnovers a game. 6, I believe he's averaging. And he had a couple of really ugly... Anytime LeBron James tries to bust out some crossover move or some weird dribbling tactic, he stumbles and bumbles. Every time. And I believe it was either the first quarter or the beginning of the second quarter. It might have been the first quarter when he was in there. Then he tried to do a crossover move coming down the break, and he kicked the ball. It went flying into the Brazil player's hands. Another turnover for LeBron James. Every time, man, he tries to do some fancy dribble move, he looks like an idiot. Once again, he exposes himself as not working on his overall game. 21 years LeBron James has played in the NBA. Still has no crossover, no behind the back, no between the legs, no hesitation dribble, none of this stuff. No stutter step. He ain't got a pull-up jumper. Still can't shoot free throws worth a lick. Still walking off the court early. Still standing around on defense. Even in the Olympics, when you're only playing like 20 minutes a game and you're playing with all these other great players, you're standing around on defense still? Lollygagging, getting back, cherry picking for dunks. He's pushing players down. The USA team is out there showboating. I told you, Joel Embiid's out there showboating against Puerto Rico. Looking like a straight idiot. With like 20 seconds to go in the game, they're up by like 25 points. Here goes Joel Embiid, man, yapping it up, doing all this weird stuff. Guy's a joke, man. Yo, Ern Jordan, what up, man? Yo, Animaniac 89, what up? Rob West, Iverson. You like Iverson, man. Much to Allen Iverson, man. Sled, what are you talking about? Why am I yelling? Why are you listening then, fool? If I'm yelling too much for you, either turn the volume down, real simple, right? Turn the volume down, you idiot, or don't listen to my live stream. I don't get you goofs. All you weird LeBron James fans, you guys come to my channel and you guys say weird stuff. This is why I have a whole segment called LeBron James fans say weird things. I'm so tired of hearing I'm yelling or people tell me, yo, man, why are you mad? Ain't no one mad here, man. And I'm not even cursing. How do I come across as mad? You guys sound ridiculous. That's right. You know the deal, man. Another guy, a Kobo, another idiot out here with no profile picture. I guarantee you have no videos on your channel. You LeBron James fans are so simple, are so easy to figure out. All of you guys are the same. You're all bots. That's why I tell you guys, LeBron James' popularity is not real. Look at his supporters. Look at these goofs. I have more supporters than LeBron James. I have real supporters. LeBron James got a bunch of idiots out here. Ain't no one buying his sneakers. Ain't no one buying his brand. No one buying his clothes. I told you, I'm out all the time. I don't see no LeBron James sneakers. No sneakers. All those people who are following LeBron James on social media, where are they wearing the sneakers at? Where are these people? They're fake. They're not real. The LeBron James fans are wearing Michael Jordan sneakers. But here they come to your chat talking about LeBron to go. Then why are you not wearing his gear? Why are you not wearing his sneakers? Why are you not making videos to support LeBron James? Because you can't support him. There's nothing you can do. What are you going to talk about? LeBron James tripping all over the court? What are you going to talk about? LeBron James walking off the court early, forming super teams, getting all his coaches fired, always making excuses. LeBron James always plays the victim. Always the victim, LeBron James. That's right. You guys know the deal, man. That's what it's about. Yo, shout out to all you guys for coming through, man. I really appreciate you guys coming through an impromptu live stream. I'm going to cut this thing in probably like, I don't know, 10, 15 more minutes. But I just wanted to talk about that Dwayne Wade stuff, that no Eagle nonsense. These guys are terrible in the broadcast booth, man. And it's not just the Olympics. We've been dealing with this in the NBA. When you have guys like Stan Van Gundy saying a bunch of nonsense. Reggie, I don't know what the hell Reggie Miller's done to himself. My God. Can we hold on to a little bit of integrity, guys? And I love Reggie Miller, man. He's one of the great 90s players. One of the true competitors. I mean, the dude played with a lot of heart and grit. But damn it, in the booth, Reggie Miller, my goodness, man. Reggie Miller, you say the weirdest, dumbest things. I don't get it. I don't get it. And we've all heard J.J. Redick in the broadcast booth saying some bunch of weird stuff. Right? These guys are nonstop with that. Yo, shout out to my man Brandon 404 coming through with the super chat. You truly humble me, man. He says, LeBron's career can't stand on its own legs. That's right. That's why his fanboys' excuses outweigh his accolades. That's right. I saw Jordan LeBron and isn't even in that same. I saw Jordan LeBron isn't in his stratosphere. It's not even close. It never has been debate. Yo, Brandon 404, man. Thank you very much for that super chat, man. You are around the money with that. You're around the money, man. They're not close, and that's the problem that we have. I don't care if anyone doesn't believe Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. If you think it's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's great. I have no problem with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I respect his career. If you think it's Bill Russell, I respect Bill Russell. If you think it's Will Chamberlain, I respect Will Chamberlain. If you think it's Kobe, I respect Kobe. If you told me it was Tim Duncan or Magic Johnson or Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, if you told me it was one of these guys, Dr. J, Jerry West, if you told me one of these guys, I'd have no problem with that. No problem. Because I respect all of those guys' careers. I respect the way they went about it. Do I believe that they have an argument over Michael Jordan? No, I don't. But I respect those guys. The difference is I don't respect LeBron James, and there's no way in hell you could say he's close to Michael Jordan. So even if you had Michael Jordan third all time on your list, then LeBron James better not be close to that dude, man. He better be somewhere down in like 15th or 20th place, man. You're not close. What does LeBron James do better on the court than Michael Jordan? Nothing. Nothing. Don't tell me passing. I don't want to hear about LeBron James passing like they were talking about the broadcast today. LeBron James, I believe, had 7 assists during the first half of the Olympic game. And here goes Dwayne Wade and Noah Eagle talking about LeBron James' passing ability. So every single time LeBron James made an assist, they didn't give credit to the player that scored. They gave credit to LeBron James, calling LeBron James. Oh, this is what Dwayne Wade said. Quarterback LeBron James. That's what he called. Quarterback LeBron. That's what he said. Meanwhile, LeBron James literally standing still. They're doing screens off ball. The guy comes off a screen. He's wide open on a cut. LeBron James throws the ball. He makes a layup. And they make like LeBron James did some crazy out of this world pass to get the man open. The dude made a cut off the screen. He was wide open. He threw a pass. He scored a layup. But they'll give all that to LeBron James. Nothing that has to do with the screen, the guy making a good cut, none of this stuff. It's all LeBron James. Those are most of LeBron James' assists, his passing. LeBron James is a solid passer, man. He's one of the great passers. But to label him one of the top passers in NBA's history or a greater playmaker or passer than Michael Jordan, I don't see it. Because Michael Jordan could make passes make plays with or without the ball in his hands. Michael Jordan could make plays on the post. that LeBron James just can't do. Once again, moving without the basketball, Michael Jordan is superior. And making plays on the defensive end, Michael Jordan was in another stratosphere. Not to mention all of the times that Michael Jordan had to get his teammates focused, lead them, give them that confidence. That's making your teammates better in a way that LeBron James can't sniff, man. Can't sniff. Once again, Michael Jordan actually made the coaches better because he was coachable. That's not LeBron James. What coach has LeBron James made greater? And none. Well, Somos, man, I'll say this. He asks about Kobe and Jordan having LeBron's body. To me, Michael Jordan was built for basketball. LeBron James, to me, wasn't built for basketball. Michael Jordan had bigger hands than LeBron James. Michael Jordan had the longer wingspan for somebody his height. Michael Jordan was quicker. He could jump higher than LeBron James. He was faster than LeBron James. To me, Michael Jordan is easily a greater athlete than LeBron James. We're talking about basketball. There's nothing that LeBron James does on the basketball court athletically greater than Michael Jordan. He wasn't faster than Michael Jordan. He wasn't quicker than the Black Cat. That first step by Michael Jordan out of that triple threat position, LeBron James can't sniff it, guys. And LeBron James is a great athlete. He ain't on Michael Jordan's level, though, man. The ability to run with the ball in his hands, to make those quick cuts, it's all Michael Jordan. The jumping ability of Michael Jordan, I mean, come on. LeBron James ain't the leaper of Michael Jordan. He ain't got it. LeBron James never even did a slam dunk contest. That's how scared he is. That's how non-creative he is. He couldn't come up with any dunks on the fly. He knows that. Remember, Michael Jordan never once practiced his dunks beforehand. Neither Dominique Wilkins. These guys just went out there, man, and they just let their creativity take over. That's the grace of Michael Jordan, guys. LeBron James wouldn't be able to go out there on a slam dunk contest stage and just come with dunks off his head. The man does the same dunk. He had to steal Karl Malone's dunk. He literally stole Karl Malone's dunk. Just like he stole Michael Jordan's number, Michael Jordan's chalk toss, Bill Russell's number 6. He bites off everybody. See what I'm saying, guys? Look at Joe Dirt. Bro, did you snort a line or what? Why do you even bring this weird stuff up? You obviously don't know my channel. Go to my channel right now and go see the fitness things that I do, the fitness videos that I post. All right? And cocaine, my man. Once again, don't make excuses in your life while you ain't got the energy that I do, while I can do these things. Anyone that's been following my channel knows this is what I do. When I do live streams on Sunday, if you notice, everyone else is sitting down at a desk. They have a whole nice setup. I don't have that. I don't have those luxuries. You know what I'm saying? I'm not blessed with those luxuries right now at this part of my life. So I stand for an entire 2-3 hour show. No sweat off me, man. It's all good. This is what I'm built for. Don't make excuses, man. You sound ridiculous. Yo, my man, the lowly one. Always coming through the lowly one. He says, the 1998 NBA Finals, Michael Jordan analyzed the Jazz and stole the ball from Karl Malone after they had ran the same play the time before. That's a top IQ. Yo, facts, the lowly one. You coming through because, once again, they'll try to tell you that LeBron James has the highest IQ in NBA's history. LeBron James is stupid. He's so dumb, he can't even figure out to allow his teammates to play in a system so it would help him. He still hasn't figured that out. How smart is he? He ain't that smart. So that was a great point that you made. And when you think about that play, stealing the ball from Karl Malone, what was the key to that play? Like my man, the lowly one, said, he knew the play they were running from a previous time down the court. He talked about that. So what did Michael Jordan do? He baited one of the great passers, John Stockton. He baited him into making that pass to Karl Malone. So he acted like he was going to follow Jeff Hornacek, right? He peeled back. Karl Malone didn't know was there. John Stockton did not have enough time to give Karl Malone the heads up. That's John Stockton, one of the great passers. He faked out John Stockton, and then he stole the ball from Karl Malone without fouling him. That was the key for that play, guys. Shout out to the lowly one, man. Thank you. Oh, my man, Brandon 404 coming through again with a super chat. Yo, thank you again, man. The moment Bron ran to Wade and Bosh, he turned in his card for GOAT. He didn't want to earn it the hard way. He wanted to team up with the best players. Right on the money, Brandon 404. That's exactly right, man. You have no argument for the greatest player of all time when you're manipulating things like that. You're making moves, and now we find out he was also trying to get Carmelo Anthony on his team. So it wasn't just enough to have Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. You also had to bring Carmelo Anthony you wanted. That was not enough. He needed another guy. So what does that show and prove you? That LeBron James is not a true competitor like that. Like you said, Brandon, he don't want to go through the grind and earn it the hard way. The funny thing is, when you listen to LeBron James fans, they actually knock Michael Jordan for losing to the Celtics, the Pistons, for going through the grind. They actually knock Michael Jordan for that. And the only reason they do that is because LeBron James never went through the grind. They never went through it like Michael Jordan. So they try to hold that against Michael Jordan, and they'll say, oh, all you guys talk about is 6-0, but Michael Jordan lost years before he won. Every player has lost. Not everyone has won every single year. Even Bill Russell lost in the NBA Finals, guys. He wasn't undefeated in the NBA Finals. Michael Jordan was. And once again, Michael Jordan did not have the kind of help that Bill Russell did have. Did he? No. So when these guys talk about Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan losing those first 5-6 years in the league to some of these great dynasty teams, all they're doing is exposing LeBron James and the lack of grind that he was not willing to go through. He wasn't willing to go through it. Yo, Double Tech, what up, man? That's right, Lamont, like you said, LeBron James said he was going to go out there and he reneged like 3 times. Remember Magic Johnson said he would pay LeBron James to do the dunk contest. The fans wanted LeBron James to do the dunk contest. He couldn't even do the dunk contest for his fans. That's how much of a punk he is. That's right, DC. That's right, man. Living that active lifestyle. These guys out here telling me I'm on cocaine and stuff. I've never used cocaine in my life, man. It's an absolute joke. It's an insult to me. Someone who puts in the work that I put in all these years I've been doing this. And for someone to say that I'm using cocaine because I have energy, because I'm out here hyped up, I tell you, this is me from the minute I wake up. I wish I could have my wife come on here, man. She'll vouch for me. She knows. Yo, Renzo Diaz, I hope I said your name right. Coming through with the super chat. Sports and fitness, more power to the man that have integrity and honor. I dig it, man. Yo, thank you very much. Much respect to you for getting the word integrity, understanding what integrity means, and how it's very important to maintain your integrity. You have nothing else, guys. Nothing else. I mean, think about this. Scottie Pippen. Let's think about Scottie Pippen for a quick example. If we think about Scottie Pippen, when I was growing up in the 90s, guys, watching the NBA, watching the basketball, watching the Chicago Bulls, we respected Scottie Pippen. I love Scottie Pippen. I loved his game. I loved the way that he played the game, man. I loved that he was Michael Jordan's sidekick. He was his right-hand man. I loved that about Scottie Pippen, man. They seem to have a great dynamic on the court. No matter how much animosity might have been going on behind the scenes, when I grew up watching them on the court, they looked like they loved each other. That's all that mattered to me and the fans. But what has Scottie Pippen done? He sold his integrity for money, for the hope that he could sell a book, for some views, for some fame. You gave up all of that just to make up lies about Michael Jordan. If Scottie Pippen would have kept the integrity, would have kept the facts, and would have been real and honest, he would have kept his integrity, would have kept his respect. But Scottie Pippen went on a rampage with lies, straight lies. He went straight to the media. He went Brian Windhorst, Dave McNamara, Gilbert Arenas, J.J. Redick, Colin Cowherd, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp. He went down that avenue. And he sold his integrity. So now a lot of the Bulls fans, the NBA fans from the 80s and the 90s that respected Scottie Pippen, they ain't messing with Scottie Pippen no more. He's lost all credibility now. Yo, Brandon Love Sport TV, what up, man? My man coming through. I appreciate you, man, for real. Let me give you a wrench, my man. Throw you out there for all your support, man. Much respect to you guys. Andre76, what up, man? It's the facts, guys. It's the facts. Let's think about someone like Isaiah Thomas, for example. We talk about integrity, right? Let's think about Isaiah Thomas. How much integrity has Isaiah Thomas lost? This is all his integrity he's lost. Oh, I'm sorry. Yo, my man, Rise Above Anything coming through with the super chat. MJ did it organically. It's no debating. Rise Above Anything. Thank you very much. You are on the money. That's right. That's what Michael Jordan was about. Organically. Going through the grind. I told you guys. Michael Jordan respected the competition. He respected going against the Pistons. No matter how dirty they were, no matter how many cheap shots they hit Michael Jordan with, he respected the competition, that he had to keep coming back and getting better. He never walked off the court, those guys. He shook their hands every single time they beat him. And he understood, I got to get my teammates better. I got to get better. We don't need more guys or different players. We have to get better. We have to get better. We're good enough. I don't need Scottie Pippen traded. He could have easily asked for Scottie Pippen to be traded. Or Horace Grant. Or that old Bill Cartwright with that slow shot that he would come up with that took 10 freaking minutes for him to get that shot off. He didn't ask for them guys to get traded. As a matter of fact, the Bulls actually traded away his best friend, Charles Oakley. He didn't want them to trade Charles Oakley or to fire Doug Collins. Did both of those things to Michael Jordan. Did Michael Jordan cry and moan about it? Did he ask for a trade? Did he ask for Phil Jackson to get fired? Did he say, I'm refusing to play with Phil Jackson? I'm not playing in a triangle sit? No, he didn't know. He did not do those things. That's Michael Jordan. That's why he's the greatest of all time. That's why he earned the respect. Yo, my man Jim Cino's coming through with the super chat, man. Oh, thank you very much, man. He says, in order to win, you need to learn from losing. LeBron didn't learn anything except how to manipulate people with the help of the media with false narratives. Not one of his rings have any value. I would 100% agree with you, my man Jim Cino's. I told you guys, I've done videos on this. None of LeBron James' championship rings are legit. They're all on super teams. You can say whatever you want about 2016. That's a super team. You teamed up with Kyrie Irving. You asked for Kevin Love to be traded there. A lot of people forget that. LeBron James was refusing to go back to Cleveland unless they trade the #1 pick, Andrew Wiggins, for Kevin Love. He was not going there without Kevin Love because LeBron James ain't going to build up nobody. He ain't going to help develop Andrew Wiggins. That's never been his MO. So you run the money, Jim Cino's, when you say that in the 220 bubble championship. That's a super team. You had Anthony Davis, who he had a requested trade off of his team to come there. How many guys did Michael Jordan have request trades to come play with him? Dennis Rodman came to the Bulls after he was on the verge of getting kicked out the NBA. No one wanted Dennis Rodman. Nobody. They weren't fighting with teams for Dennis Rodman. So when you think about that, his 220 bubble championship was a super team. You had Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard. You had 4 Hall of Famers. Rajon Rondo was excellent in the postseason that year. Anthony Davis was sensational on both sides of the ball in the postseason. Dwight Howard was a key contributor in the Western Conference Finals and in the NBA Finals with his big body on Nikola Jokic. And once again, look at who they beat in the 2020 Finals. They beat an 8 seed Miami Heat with all their players injured. Not impressive at all. Yo, shout out to all you guys, man. You guys are coming with the facts, man. Sheldon M. LBJ is the GOAT. I dare to make a video about it. I dare you. Yo, Jeff, what up, man? Yo, Marvin Strong, thank you for coming through, man. You guys know the deal, man. Yeah, it's almost been deals. Yeah, Dennis Rodman was on the verge of being out the NBA. He was on the verge, man. He was going crazy. And that's why they asked Michael Jordan, can you handle him? Remember, Scottie Pippen didn't even want Dennis Rodman. He didn't want him. But Michael Jordan, being the smart competitor he is, respected Dennis Rodman for being a competitor. Remember, he had to go against Dennis Rodman for all those years. That's right, Taj Raheen. Dwight Howard was younger than Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was, what, 35 years old when he went to the Bulls? And the funny thing is that the LeBron James fans want you to believe that the Detroit Pistons with Dennis Rodman in 1991 were old, but in 1996, 5 years later, Dennis Rodman, that same Dennis Rodman, made them a super team. It don't add up. How can he be old in 91, but in 96, he made them a super team? You see where they expose themselves to LeBron James fans? They don't know what they're talking about. They have no clue. No clue. Yo, Backstreet Marine, thank you for coming through the live stream. I appreciate the support, guys. Yo, Spurs on 3. What's up, man? Thank you very much. That's right. Dirk's championship was much more impressive because Dirk went out there, didn't make any excuses. Did anybody give Dirk and Nowitzki any excuses for going against the Miami Heat super team in 2011? Did anybody make any excuses for him? No excuses. Remember, they were mocking Dirk Nowitzki. Him and Dwayne Wade, they were goofing around. They were up 2 games to 1. They were feeling themselves. And then what happened? Dirk turned up the heat on them. And where was LeBron James? Nowhere. Not only did LeBron James stumble and bumble scoring the basketball. Okay, no doubt. Maybe the shots weren't falling from you. He got a little nervous. But you didn't even take the challenge of guarding Dirk Nowitzki. LeBron James, 6'9", 260 pounds. He's bigger and stronger than Dirk Nowitzki, right? Dirk might have a couple of inches on him. But LeBron James is way bigger, stronger, more athletic than Dirk Nowitzki. Why didn't LeBron James lock down Dirk Nowitzki? Why didn't he lock him down? Why didn't LeBron James decide to dominate the glass and help the team that way? No, he didn't do that. He disappeared altogether. The overall game disappeared. No impact. Yo, shout out to Vegas, man. I've never been out there. You know, one time, years ago, when I was, with my wife, we weren't married yet. There was a thing going on in Vegas, right? So it was like a motorcycle show or something going on there. So I wanted to go out there with some of my buddies. And I tried to lie to my wife. Man, like I said, we weren't married. We were only dating at the time. And I was trying to lie and act like I was going to Vegas for something, official. And it didn't work out for me. I ended up not going. I've never been to Vegas, man. So shout out to everybody out there in Vegas. It's so funny to me how the LeBron James fans will always talk about drugs in my chat, in my comment section. I'm on drugs because I'm all hyped up. Meanwhile, these guys have no energy for the drugs that LeBron James is doing. You're worried about me doing drugs with no evidence of me doing drugs. You're just thinking that. You just want to say that. But you have no energy for LeBron James. You have no energy for LeBron James. LeBron James is a borderline alcoholic. And I'm not saying that lightly because alcoholism is a serious problem. LeBron James is borderline an alcoholic. Borderline, man. Are you kidding me? This guy always has a drink in his hand, and they're worried about me. You guys remember LeBron James was drinking on the sideline of an NBA game. I think it was a preseason game. He was drinking alcohol on the bench. You have a problem, LeBron James. His fans ain't got nothing for that, though. Nothing for that. Yo, Feel the Beat Asia Radio coming through with the super thanks or the super chat. Thank you very much. Much respect to you. Yo, Jordans, Penny Hardaway, and Grant Hill shoes are better than anything LeBron James sells. Facts. Yo, my man Ifan coming through. I thought that was you, man. Yo, my man over there, the Navi group, man, the High Navi group, man. Shout out to you, man, for all support, man. It means a lot. You know the deal. Ain't no one wearing LeBron James sneakers. People can say whatever they want about LeBron James' popularity. It's not real. It's not real. Just because he has a certain amount of followers on Instagram or on Twitter or X, whatever they call now, it don't mean nothing. All of his followers, all those people are the same people you see in my chat. They got no profile picture, no videos on their channel. They're bots. They're all bots, man. They're all burner accounts. You got one LeBron James fan with 50 different accounts. 50 different accounts. This is the LeBron James fans. Michael Jordan's popularity is real. It's actual real because it wasn't built up through media or narratives or lies. Michael Jordan's celebrity is real. This is why the man is still the most popular athlete in the world, and he ain't played basketball in damn near 20 years. That's true celebrity. Remember, Michael Jordan was a celebrity's celebrity. I told you guys that story about how when Michael Jordan did Saturday Night Live, that Adam Sandler was saying that he thought he was the greatest player, the greatest person that ever came on Saturday Night Live was Michael Jordan. He said was the biggest star ever came on Saturday Night Live. And he said that when Michael Jordan was going to make the appearance on Saturday Night Live, the producers had to give special instructions out to all the comedians and tell them, don't be hounding Michael Jordan for autographs. Don't be bothering him for nonsense. They don't tell everybody that because they knew that when Michael Jordan got there, he was going to be flooded by... These were other stars, celebrities, actors, famous people. And they didn't tell them that about Michael Jordan. This is where Michael Jordan is and was, ladies and gentlemen. He's a whole other level. You talked about Anthony Hardaway, Penny Hardaway sneakers, obviously, are way more popular. And Grant Hill sneakers, man. I remember people were getting robbed for Grant Hill sneakers back when I was in high school. You couldn't leave them things out in gym class. Leave your Grant Hills out. They would be gone, man. Gone. That's right, Brandon Love Sports TV. You know the deal, man. They always come to our channel. I see you doing your lives, man. I see you doing your thing. This is what we deal with. But this is why I'm here. We're here for this. I'm here to educate these fools, man, and set the record straight. And it really, like I said, they're so easy to, like I said, to know and to deal with because they're all the same. They say the same things over and over again. It don't make any sense. Abel Polanco, what up, man? Andrew Music, I hope I said your name right, man. That's right, LeBron James knows he'll never be on Michael Jordan's level as far as fame and popularity. And to me, that's what really bothers LeBron James the most. Because LeBron James, he really thinks that Michael Jordan is just famous. Like, he really thought that he could surpass Michael Jordan's celebrity. He thinks that Michael Jordan's recognized as the greatest player of all time because he's the most popular player of all time. That's not the case. It just so happens that he's the greatest player in the history of the game and he's the most popular player in the history of the game. And it just so happens he played in the golden era, the most popular era in the history of the game. None of this stuff is ironic, guys. That guy, Tom Brady, greater than Jordan. Listen, man, we respect Tom Brady over here, but you're way out of your league. Remember, Tom Brady plays football, my man, not basketball. When you talk about a team sport, football is the ultimate team sport. They got like 10 coaches. They got like 40, 50 different people on the team. There's a 53-man roster in NFL. What is it in basketball? 12 guys? So 8 or 9 guys are playing? Ain't the same, man. Tom Brady was always chasing Michael Jordan, man. And once again, Tom Brady was accused of cheating. I'm not saying he did cheat, but he was accused of it. Michael Jordan was never accused of cheating or doing any shady stuff, man. And once again, I respect Tom Brady, man. He's an all-time great player, man. But when you talk about football versus basketball, There is no GOAT of football. If you want to say the Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, okay, maybe you can make that argument. You can make the argument. But to say he's the greatest NFL player, it don't even add up. Tom Brady can't even catch the ball. What happened to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? You think Michael Jordan would have dropped that pass? No, Tom Brady ain't a great athlete like that. He needs other guys around him to get the job done. You need the receivers catching the ball. Is Tom Brady going out there and tackling people? Hell no, he's not. He's not. You can't compare what Tom Brady was doing in football to what Michael Jordan did in the NBA. Once again, Michael Jordan has 2 three-peats. How many three-peats Tom Brady got? And what are you going to tell me? It's football. It's hard to three-peat? Exactly. It's harder. It's football. It's different. Hayden Fitz, man, I'm not disrespecting Tom Brady, but you can never say Tom Brady's above Michael Jordan. Once again, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. When Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl recently, right? Just won the Super Bowl. Did they refer to Tom Brady? No! They referred to Michael Jordan. They're calling Patrick Mahomes the Michael Jordan of quarterbacks, not the Tom Brady of quarterbacks. Remember, it's Michael Jordan. He's the bar. Tom Brady knows that. Yo, Zulu Nation family, man. I don't know if LeBron James got hurt. I saw Ticket TV doing a live stream a little while ago before I came on, and he said something about maybe LeBron James leaving with an injury. But you know, LeBron James fakes injuries. The USA was blowing out Brazil. So I'm sure he, maybe said, I'm a little banged up. Let me get out of here. So I don't know if he's really hurt or not. I hope he's not hurt. We don't want nobody to get hurt. I've never wished injury on any of these guys. That's the funny thing about LeBron James. He's faking injuries. This is a Nike trail hat. It's seen better days. It's a beat-up hat. I've had this hat for about 3 or 4 years now. It's one of my favorite hats. It's a trail hat that I wear when I go on my trail runs or I'm exercising. So shout out to you guys for asking me about that hat, man. My man GWB. That's right. Jordan is the GOAT, man. That's right, Philip Harrison. I've said before, Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice, these are other great players. Like, every position can have a greatest of all time. Like, if you wanted to say that Dick Butkus or Ray Lewis or one of these guys were the greatest linebacker of all time, you can make an argument for them being the greatest linebackers. The greatest defensive end, to me, is Lawrence Taylor, hands down. It's probably the greatest defensive player to me. I'm a New York fan, so I'm a little bit, biased towards Lawrence Taylor, but the dude was psychotic out there. It was crazy, man. And he played when it was still a man's game, when you could crush the quarterback. Tom Brady didn't take no hits like that. He didn't have to take hits like that. The game was different. No, there's no takeaway from him, but he wasn't getting hit like Joe Montana was getting hit. He wasn't getting hit like John Elway was getting hit, or Dan Marino, or some of these other guys were getting smashed out there. He wasn't taking them hits like that. Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. To me, Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time. But if you told me it was Barry Sanders, I'm not going to argue with Barry Sanders, man. I grew up watching Barry Sanders. If you told me it was Walter Payton, I have no argument with that either. My favorite running back growing up was Emmitt Smith. I loved Emmitt Smith. I wore number 22 when I played football like Emmitt Smith. I had the Newman's gloves with the number 22 on it like Emmitt Smith. He was I had Emmitt Smith posters. On my walls growing up was guys like Darryl Strawberry, Ken Griffey Jr., Emmitt Smith, and you guys know Michael Jordan was up there. Rise above anything, coming through again. Thank you very much, man, for your support. I appreciate that. MJ always guarded the best player, man, hands down. And that's the key here. When we think about Michael Jordan always took the challenge. And when we think about Michael Jordan being guarded by players, right? Not him just guarding people, people also guarding him. Michael Jordan always went against the other team's best perimeter defender. Always. Who else who were they going to guard? They weren't going to guard Scottie Pippen. They weren't worried about B.J. Armstrong or John Paxson. They were guarding Michael Jordan. Whoever the other team's best perimeter player was, they were on Michael Jordan. And they rotated guys. Remember, they would put point guards on Michael Jordan, shooting guards, small forwards on Michael Jordan. I've seen power forwards guarding Michael Jordan. They would double team him, triple team him. They ran zones back in the 80s and 90s, guys. People talk about Michael Jordan never go against zone. Michael Jordan went against the zone many times, guys. He went against half-court traps, full-court presses, all kinds of defensive schemes. He went against the Jordan rules. People talking about the zone defenses, man. Get the hell out of here. What is it, the YMCA? That's right, Cooked AF. That MJ is the best, not even close. That's right, Midtown won. DC, Gale Sayers. You can make an argument for Gale Sayers as maybe the great return man of all time, but as far as running backs goes, listen, he's amazing, man, but I'm not putting him above Walter Payton or Barry Sanders or Jim Brown. I'm not putting him above these guys. Yo, Abel Polanco, much respect, man. I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. You guys are amazing, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Somos Banditos. You know, Emmitt Smith had a lot of great players around. The Dallas Cowboys were like the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. They were the Bulls of the 90s, right? They won back-to-back Super Bowls. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s, man. They were a powerhouse. They had great defensive players. They had a great line. They had great skill players. We're talking about Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. Emmitt Smith, obviously, like I said, you were coached by Jimmy Johnson, and then they had Barry Switzer. Once again, Jerry Jones messed that whole thing up. Jerry Jones should have kept Jimmy Johnson there, but what happened to Jerry Jones? This dude was envious of all the attention and all the fanfare, all the credit that Jimmy Johnson was getting for winning those Super Bowls. Jerry Jones wants all the credit for the Super Bowls. That's why he's a weird owner. He don't make no sense, and he's jinxed the Dallas Cowboys. They haven't sniffed a Super Bowl. They haven't sniffed one since the 90s, guys. They haven't been completely irrelevant. That's right, the Cowboys suck now because of Jerry Jones. He destroyed that whole franchise. That move to get rid of Jimmy Johnson was a selfish move. That was not a move for better the organization. That was a Jerry Jones move. Yeah, Thurman Thomas was another great running back of the 90s, man. Played for the Buffalo Bills, like you said, when they would play together, Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas at Oklahoma State, it was amazing. I mean, when you think about some of the running backs, when you had Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, Emmitt Smith, I mean, you had some great running backs there, man. And you had guys later on like Terrell Davis, and some of these other guys, man. It was an amazing time back in the day, man. Yeah, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen, right? I mean, you think about when you talk about football, you talk about the great players at some of these positions, there's no way that you could just say, I don't like when people say that Tom Brady is the GOAT. When they say that, they're trying to make it seem like he's the greatest football player ever. He's not the greatest football player ever. If you want to say he's the greatest quarterback ever, I have no problem with that. You can argue Joe Montana. You can argue some of these other guys. You can argue that Dan Marino was a greater thrower of the ball than almost anybody. But if you want to argue he's the greatest quarterback of all time, I see that. But to say he's the greatest football player, you can't do it. There's no argument. Once again, Tom Brady's not tackling anybody out there. And you saw what happened when he had to catch a football. How did he drop that pass in the Super Bowl? He dropped a wide open pass because he's not the athlete like a lot of these guys are. He's just not. Don't make him not a great player or a great quarterback or having a high IQ or being a great leader. He just ain't we're talking about football overall. You have to be able to run, catch, tackle, right? Do other things besides just throw the ball. Yo, Philip Harrison, you think Joe Montana's the go-to quarterbacks? I have no argument with that. Once again, I respect Joe Montana. The dude was undefeated in the Super Bowl. Never threw a single interception in the Super Bowl, Joe Montana. A lot of people don't remember that or realize that. He never threw one interception in the Super Bowl. That's called being clutch. I don't have any V-necks of this shirt. I just made a couple of shirts. I just made these up on like Printify or whatever that was. I sell them in the description of my channel. If you go to the description, there should be a link for Shopify. If you click on it, it'll show you there's like 6 different shirts. I don't make the prices up, guys. I want to get good quality shirts, man. These are really nice. They're soft. They're the tri-blend shirts. I want to get quality shirts, so they might be a little bit expensive. Once again, I'm not here trying to sell anybody anything. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about the shirts, man. That's right, man. Shout out to Joe Montana, man. Much respect to Joe Montana. Like I said, man, a true legend. Always carried himself with class. Always carried himself with the honor, Joe Montana. One of the most respected, classy individuals in sports. How about Wayne Gretzky? When I was growing up, guys, these guys were the bar. It was guys like Joe Montana, Wayne Gretzky, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays. Like, these were the players that people talked about, right? Michael Jordan, the Bill Russells, right? These are the kinds of guys. And as I was getting a little bit older, you guys, Michael Jordan was chasing Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. He was chasing these guys because they were winners. They were true competitors. And Michael Jordan wanted to be known as a winner. A winner. Yo, I really appreciate you guys, man. I'm going to cut this live stream. I keep saying that. I'm going to cut the live stream in 10 minutes. And then my wife's probably like wondering where the hell I am right now. She always tells me, I'm like, I'm going to cut the live stream for like 45 minutes, babe. And she'll be like, no, you're not. And I'm like, no, I'm going to cut it for like 30, 45 minutes. I will. She goes, no, you're not. Every time you say you're going to cut it, it goes an hour and a half, 2 hours. But you guys keep me going, man. I love interacting with you guys. You guys say some really good stuff in the chat. And like I said, man, you guys have supported my channel, man. So sometimes I just get going. I don't even realize the time. Yeah, shout out to Devin Hester, man, for getting to the Hall of Fame. Much respect to him and much appreciated, man. You know what's crazy? as Michael Jordan was actually at the Hall of Fame ceremony the other day for the NFL, and I did not realize that Dwight Freeney and Michael Jordan were like really good friends. Michael Jordan was actually at the Hall of Fame ceremony to support Dwight Freeney, who got in. And shout out to Dwight Freeney, he deserved it too. And if you guys don't know, I did that video. Julius Peppers, who went to North Carolina, who played basketball at North Carolina along with football, who got inducted into the Hall of Fame the other day. Shout out to Julius Peppers, one of the great defensive linemen in the history of the game, man. The dude was a freak athlete, about 6'7", like 250, 260. The dude was an animal out there. He was scary out there in the field, man. But he shouted out Michael Jordan, and he said that that was one of the main reasons why he went to North Carolina, was because of Michael Jordan. And I believe me and Julius Peppers were born the same year. I believe he was born in 1980. So he grew up in the same time I did. So he grew up watching Michael Jordan, and he said that he thanked Michael Jordan for the inspiration, and he called him the GOAT. Because Julius Peppers knows, just like everybody else knows, Michael Jordan is clearly the greatest basketball player of all time. But not only is he the greatest basketball player of all time, once again, he's the bar for all athletes, guys, for all athletes. And you know, what bugs me sometimes is when people try to make it seem like, you know, people like me, you know, us as Jordan fans, that, oh, you guys are just a bunch of Jordan simps, man. Like, we're making up. I'm not making anything about Michael Jordan. I don't have to exaggerate Michael Jordan's career. That's the craziness about it. When you talk about Michael Jordan, the more you dig into his career, the more impressive it becomes. And that's not because I'm a fan of Michael Jordan. That's just the facts. I get nothing for talking about Michael Jordan. He don't pay me any money. I'll never meet Michael Jordan. That's not what it's about. It's about setting the record straight. When Scottie Pippen says nonsense, or Isaiah Thomas says some nonsense, or Nick Wright says some nonsense, or Colin Cowherd, or Brian Windhorst, or J.J. Redd, or Gilbert Reese, any of these fools say some nonsense, I'm going to be here to set the record straight. I told you, that was one of the main reasons why I made a channel. I kept hearing all this stuff on the TV. I was watching these YouTube videos with some of these idiot content creators, and I'm like, what the hell are these fools talking about? And then the last straw for me was Scottie Pippen. That was the last straw for me. When Scottie Pippen came out a couple of years ago with his book tour and the Last Dance stuff and all that, once that I started hearing all that, that's when I was like, you know what, all bets are off. I'm making videos. Yo, my man, what's up? YT Hoops, what's up, man? I'm out here ranting. I talked about this stuff with Dwayne Wade, and the broadcast booth for the Olympic Games for the USA team has just been disgusting, man. Has just been disgusting. It don't make no sense. I don't know what Dwayne Wade is saying. The things that he says are not educational. They don't make any sense. It don't add up. They're just talking to talk, and they're making up stuff. So I'm going to cut this live stream, guys. Don't forget, tomorrow, yo, shout out to all you guys, man, for real, man. Thank you to all you guys in the chat. You guys have been supporting the live streams. You guys come through on Sundays. Michael Jordan fans are the best. You guys have been coming through the live streams, supporting our channels. It's truly humbling, guys. Truly humbling for you guys to be coming through the live streams and all this stuff, man. Yeah, I remember the cartoon of Michael Jordan. That's right, Andrew. That's right. It was called like Sports Stars, I think it was called, if I remember correctly. Bo Jackson, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan. That's right, man. These guys were the standard. They were the standard. But I was gonna say though, is tomorrow, me and AOH are gonna do a live stream, guys. Tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. 3:30 Eastern time. So wherever you are, figure it out. We're gonna do the Wednesday rants tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about some of this Olympic stuff. AOH has a bunch of topics he wants to talk about. We'll probably talk about some of the things I touched on today. But please, guys, Pro Stars, much respect to you guys, Pro Stars. Thank you. That's right, man. Pro Stars. Yeah, you're right. Dwayne Wade does. Yo, Elijah Morris, you're right. He does need to come out. He needs to come out with something, man. He's weird. He's weird. He says weird things, man. But when you but I want you guys to come to the live stream tomorrow, man. And come check out me and my man AOH. You know, the dynamic duo. We'll be doing our thing again, man. I told you guys, man, the top 10 players for me is different because I don't put people necessarily in a 1 through 10. It's Michael Jordan for me, and then it's everybody else. But I always had the same guys in there. And, you know, like I said, I have some people in my top 10 that people don't have in their top 10. Like I have Jay West in my top 10. I have Dr. J in my top 10. But I also have Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Kobe Bryant, Will Chamberlain. These are the guys that are in my top 10, man. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to me is, I don't know what to do with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because once again, I've told you, if you told me Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest of all time, I got no problem with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being the greatest of all time. To me, you could say that he's the greatest of all time. He has a nice resume. But for me, it came down to Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for a top 10. I didn't want to put both of them in there. Because once again, they both played with each other for a long time. And to me, Magic Johnson was just more impactful because Magic Johnson, to me, made the game easier for everyone else to play with. When I think about Michael Jordan, I always think about Michael Jordan getting the most out of his teammates by pushing them in practice, giving them that confidence, believing in themselves, right? Keep pushing them and grinding on them until either they break or what? They turn into that diamond. Whereas Magic Johnson made it easy for you to play the game on the court with him, the way that he played, man. So much respect to all you guys, man. Gravy, bro's pupils are big as hell. This is what we're saying? My pupils are big as hell? What are you talking about, man? You guys are weird, man. This is why you guys are LeBron James fans. I guarantee you're a LeBron James fan with 0 videos on your channel. I guarantee it. Yeah, all-star, man. There's nothing that LeBron James does better than Michael Jordan. Think about LeBron James, mediocre rebounding. He's a terrible rebounder for 6'9", 260. You average 7 rebounds a game in this weak soft era with no big men? Come on, man. You got some people in here talking about Michael Jordan, the GOAT of gambling. Yeah, like Michael is the GOAT of gambling. LeBron James is the GOAT of what? What is he the GOAT of? Once again, of walking off the court early, he's the GOAT of drinking. LeBron James drinks more alcohol than anyone I've ever seen in my life. This man always has a drink in his hand. Always. That's right. Tell him 2-time TV. They know. It's called rants. Who, Mayu? Why don't you make a video? I dare to make a video. He's saying that LeBron James is carrying the Olympics team. You see this with the LeBron James fans. You're listening to the media, media. They want you to believe LeBron James is carrying the Olympic team. He's not carrying the Olympic team, my man. The Olympic team was favored by 40 points in South Sudan. How is he carrying these guys? If you're favored by that much every time you play, there is no carrying. The Olympic U.S. team is supposed to be dominating these guys. There is no carrying. No one carried the 92 Dream Team. They were all great. You make no sense. You expose yourself. He's not carrying them anywhere. He's turning the ball over 6 times a game. He's not playing defense like that. His leadership is terrible. Who is he carrying? He's not carrying Kevin Durant. He's not carrying Steph Curry. He's not carrying Anthony Davis. He's not carrying any of these guys. Oh, man, you guys know the deal, man. Yo, you guys have a good night or a good day, whatever it is where you're from. Thank you for all support, guys. Remember, come through the live stream tomorrow, AOH, your boy Sports and Fitness Rant, the dynamic duo. We're going to be on the live stream tomorrow, Wednesday, 3:30 p.m., man. You guys know the deal. Come through. We're going to be taking calls. So if you guys want to call up, we're going to be taking calls, all those things, man. I do like Steph Curry. I don't like Steph Curry's leadership or lack of leadership. And I don't like that Steph Curry let Kevin Durant come to his team. Now, I do like the fact that Steph Curry won 2 championships before and after Kevin Durant. He won without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's never done that. So I respect Curry a hell of a lot more than Kevin Durant, man. But Kevin Durant is literally the best player on the Olympic team right now. You can't say LeBron James is carrying them. Kevin Durant's out there doing his thing. They're all playing great. It's the USA team. They should be playing great. Only the LeBron James fans like to use that word carry. He's always carrying somebody. Yo, LeBron James, 39 years old, carrying the Olympic team. No, he's not. Stop it. You sound ridiculous, man. Did you guys see the Brazilian team? You guys see the Brazilian team today? Did they look like they would beat the 92 team? Did they look like they caught up? That team looked like they shouldn't even be in the Olympics. Come on, they were stumbling and bumbling out there, man. Yo, Philip Harrison, thank you. Yo, shout out to all you guys, man. I'm going to cut the live stream. You guys have a good one. Thank you for all support. Remember, tomorrow, catch us out. Me and AOH, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.